Sabrina, where planning and not coming in near General Jamba, a Sauriol. Monta Doctor, one boy, the way man, make our bang one. And he said, the blow, merci beaucoup. Encore la magie, et puis à des démons. Maïne, puis à des démons. C'est un j'ai bien des amis, on est black, one to them. Et pas pour faire de plus de votre asaro. Et là où est-ce qu'il y a bon yawa, tu prends pour dire que you're the man who. Wait, we are wait. You'll be money, Kayo. Parce que oui, bien, mon papa, on est beau firme. Merci beaucoup. Et bien, voyez, et la dernière personne, c'est beau. Le très ancien Yves Canet, à Seigneur-Okaï. Le grand frère Oura Michael. Allons seulement. Les voyez, mais. Et la somme, non, les voyez, mais. Classé maintenant, les voyez, mais. Loi sans ma boîte, les voyez, mais. Panon, tiens, ma noita, les voyez, mais. La wadi matu mwata be wey me. Yete Florent, wey de son te yakpe. Nyanya pe kwasa de we ready. One chichie mo ye wey. Omo nya da bi e japo. Wo je bro mo pede o. Kanya jomble de so for ready. So for we sia e jo yi papa. Mo ye wey ke we. Come on in kwa for sa e. Wey. Yeah, wait. You the no place to yeah. Casonzia Cabra, the way. Bonia Salva, go the way. Poor Sagi, go the way. You want to find the way. The wood do the way, the four do the way. Where they way you.
Good evening. Here we come again this evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. We're taking a ride this evening in neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. I told you I'm a traditionalist and I love songs with messages and well-refined message. I will speak to Crown and tell you exactly what this song is saying. As Samson told. Welcome to the show. I am Alphonso Zean Soe. They call this group Revolutionary. They are from La Côte d'Ivoire. Let's listen a little bit. All things is about to get on the way right here from the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio, and Lpr-Tv. Teaming up. Hit that share button and I share the full podcast for us, wherever you are, to invite friends and neighbors to this talking point. It's all things considered. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. Together, us, we, and those of us who believe in the liberalization policy, we're going to have the conversation, not necessarily in favor of the politicians and their supporter, but to get Liberia on track. Let's listen a little bit. Everything is about money. To drink water is money. If you want to be heard in society, you have to get money. And that's exactly what this songwriter is saying. How many of you have never been despised in the family, in your community, because you just can't afford? If you don't have l'argent, Frenchmen say, forget it. Society, you more literally rejected. Nobody going to pay attention to you. Oh, don't mind that man. Oh, don't mind that woman. Look at the things she wore and said. Believe me, you have the Jaffe, the cash. When you yell and you scream, total submission. Interestingly, Tonde, when they said here, Tonde did. Let me go into Granger, my native land here. Except for medical purposes or medical reasons, people that have medical issue, of course, that is understandable. Everybody want to eat something that has salt and pepper. And the only way you can get that taste when you get money. If you don't get money, whole day you don't eat sodon dry, no pepper, no salt. You just want to put something in the settings and just water it down to keep you going. Butter you want to have, and salt and pepper, something balanced. That's what the songwriter is saying. There's a serious meaning to this one song here. So I love this song. Okay, there's we have it this evening here. This group called Thai Revolutionary. There's a group from Ivory Coast who want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining me here this evening. I am Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv, teaming up with Scar TV in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Strictly into this business for news, information, entertainment, with a little portion of it because there are so many things at stake. It's no time to dance. The dancing and dancings, whether Zuma or whatever, it has not produced any concrete result. The entertainment we used to be in Gabriel, Cinema, Roxy, and all of those, Rivoli and all of this thing here, they never produce any type of tangible. But it is time for us to get the substance and to hit the issue. See the conversation that is ongoing right now in Capitol Hill. I don't allow politicians to toy me. I'm not a kid. I'm an old grown-up guy now, so you can't jab me. All of these people, all what you're seeing there, the past what? The budget that was passed recently, there was no concrete conversation. All of a sudden now we see everybody kind of like trying to be the one that is vocal or profess to be in the interest of the people. I tell you why. It's all for political purposes to maintain their positions in this injury and strappy time. Those people don't go hungry. No. Their dining table is charged. They don't know what you go through when it comes to gas. The talkings is just try to get attentions and try to win that empathy, or they try to empathize it, like thinking like they are for you. No. Why were they? They never discussed that issue. How can they pass that budget? Because they all got their cut and everybody were quiet. They were like a babies. Now they are arguing, pretending as if they didn't even know this thing was going to come. Give me a break. They are trying to solidify their political grip, especially those that are seeking re-election. That's the bait, that's the strategy of these politicians, always. Take advantage of those who just don't have the ability to get ahead of the game or go beyond their shadow. So they do stuff and, oh yeah, they want he talking. Talking where? He doesn't know, his gas slip is rolling. They apportion huge money to themselves. Ordinary Liberians struggling and finding it difficult to make ends meet. And then it comes before the camera, they profess to be a people for the vanguard. And it gave all of the justifications on planet Earth. That's not good. Yet, some of you, some of us, some of them become selective and support those bad policies, those bad ideas. At least he tried, at least he did this. They are discussing something about the country, about our future, about the society, about a sovereign nation. And they didn't even have a copy of the issue they're going to discuss. Before the conversation takes place, You must have, for God's sake, how can you talk about a budget? How can you have a conversation about something and you don't even have the copy of that, what you're going to discuss? We'll make the copy and we'll send it to you and we'll do this. So what is your input? What are the questions that you're going to be asking? So you didn't even review it? Not at all. Let me see here something. I'm giving some sort of feedback here, which is unusual. Just bear with me. Maybe they try to. Okay, we'll deal with it as it is. That's the situation. All of these people, if I have my own will, if I alone vote, all will go. All, A-L-L, it will go. Because what they are doing is all politics they are playing now. Some of them, they know their political career is on life support in terms of retaining their jobs. So they want to be like a king now. And this is what some of us been saying from time to time. Lack of political tolerance on the part of most, if not all, most of our folks to solidify, to have a conversation about these things. Of course, it does work here in the US. Sometimes the Republicans and the Democrat cut deal, give and take. But you never see our guys all day playing game. And they are part of it. When the darkness falls, then they have those unknown telephone, the numbers that you don't have, I don't have. Those are the numbers to communicate on their WhatsApp. Then they laugh, me by me. Like those days we used to watch Shaolin Show, Waterfront, Silver Fox. That's the guy that I used to love. But yet, when the daylights turn on, then they come before the camera and pretend as if they are advocates or what. And we give room to this. And this is why we want to see it happening over and over and over. It's because they're taking us for a joke. We reward them with their bad behaviors. How can you go have a discussions about the future of the country? You don't even have the budget and giving justification. I'm going to play some of the sound bite here so you will hear it. All right, so all things considered, I mean, we're going to put all in here to you, us, together out of us. We're going to have a conversation here. Time, Alphonso Zean Soe. Time check here in the East Coast at 8:10 Eastern Standard Time. It's time to get the program on the way. But I love this song here. I'm trying to see what I'm able to get to do a little bit more of it here. Because, let's go.
Le parrain permanent, Herniantier, son manoir de Wayman, mon papa, mon sekela rock, de wet de blue and my blue de Wayman. Sabina, where planning and not moment in Nia, General Jamba.
We want to welcome the Honorable Williams K. Glare, is a former representative of the Republic of Liberia from Grand Jita, from my own country. Honorable, welcome. He's not retiring. He's still at Okram. He's still keeping in touch with what is happening in your country, regardless of he being away. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
Mon papa connaît beau firmer. Merci beaucoup. Le 13.
You can understand the crime, man. As my papa, as Honorable Williams Glare. If you don't have money in society, you are just they tell you kafliai. Nobody get time for you. They will not know you, no family, no friend, no girlfriend, no woman, nothing. But when the Jaffe is there, You will be served. You will be like a king's son, or you will be on the throne.
Oh, nechichia, oh, yeah, wait. Oh, man, that be a jabro. Oh, jabro, more pedio. Can you jump there? Swan for ready. Swan for Messiah, actually, Papa. Oh, yeah, wait, go away. Come on, you pop for side. Wait, yeah, wait. You the no place to yeah. Casonia Capra, the way. Bonia Salva, go the way.
Why it is. Though lawmaker, though people when they can they do their jaja thing, what are gas or no gas in the control, their car running. Only the poor yana boy with their keke, their motor boy, the carrying gallon trying to, but oh man, you don't see them fighting to gas station. It rain, it shine, they are full on the table. But then they can't hear the play deceit to us and we buy into it. Election coming again. All things considered is right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. I am Alphonso Zean Soe. Let's get a talking point going. Okay, folks, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing to your beautiful evening, morning, afternoon. If you are in Liberia, we say welcome. If you are right here in the USA, we say welcome. Good evening. If you are in Australia, good morning. Thank you for being awake. It is because of you we are here. Without you, we can't just be here. And so every minute, every second you spend on this network is so valuable to us. So we are very cognizant of that, and this is what our talking point will make sure is seasoned that you take away. You might not necessarily agree with what we want to be saying because of politics, which is understandable as well. But hey, it's all about Liberia, and that's what is our focus. And we want you to have a second thought. I don't know where this word, this new word that is being coined, political leader, political this, I don't know where it came from. Who is the author? Who is the creator? And they have initiated us so much to the extent that some of these people, we see them as our guardians now. Anything they say because they are a political leader, you agree with it. No objections, no finger being raised to say, I didn't hear what you say, my leader, but you agree with it. And your decisions, my decisions, our decisions, the consequences are there. So all what we are saying, a little bit, yes, you support these people. We can't take that away from you. You have the right to do that. But also remember that your decisions today, tomorrow, yesterday does have an impact on us as society and people. My man, Amos George, is a senior contributor and analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. He's standing by right now. I'm going to be bringing him very shortly. And of course, we'll try our best, the best way we can to get this conversation and to also include you in the talking point here. I'm getting some news from inside Liberia as well. As you know, a lot ongoing. So we're going to be bringing all of that as well. Share this podcast, invite someone at your company. Let's have the conversation going. I am Alphonso Zean Soe. Let me bring in Amos George here, standing by in Atlanta, Georgia. There you see him, the man from the far right, Amos George, senior political analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Apabe.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
We can't complain. With the message with the father with the glass.
If you complain, sir, we're going to get a case to. Bring the case to me, and I can handle it.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
Okay. All right. Good evening. As usual, we're here. All things considered, we're going to be here. I was told Alexander Benedict Cummings is on his way to the U.S. in a major fundraiser again. Man, this guy, is he put you as a front runner now or what?
What you said? Politics is money, and money is politics.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So if you don't have money, don't
you broke? Don't get into politics.
No.
Because the politics in Liberia now has evolved so much. It's not about the 18th century. When you talk, at the end of the day, they will tell you, say, yeah, okay, Omen Pajo Inato, Alphonso Inato, what you say. When Liberia men say what you say, they know exactly what they are talking about, So if you don't get it, there's something. We want to welcome our man Boat is in Norway, and all of you good folks will say good evening and welcome. Oh, Nathaniel Tower says what? In the United Arab Emirates, that's Dubai, man, in the oil. As long you're drinking oil,
Swimming in the oil.
To you and welcome. Thank you for being awake. Okay, are you following the conversation ongoing on Capitol Hill? The discussion?
Yeah, somehow.
Somehow. All right, let me see here. Let's get a little bit soundbite of it. So this guy here, let's hear. Hold on one second.
I listened
You're doing what? We got it.
The chairman showed me the recast budget, and I think that information is important that the information gets to the public.
I think he's not even sure.
Indeed, there was a recast budget, that there was no private consultation between us and the senator and the minister. So that recast budget that I have seen needs to be given to the public, and that there is no other document that exists that requires the Senate to sign any other paper as has been speculated.
Edmund Joyce.
Yeah.
When you listen to that, I think what I have seen, I think it should be given to the public. What is the timeline are we talking about? What is the time frame? When did he see that? And how is this conversation is coming up? It's like they don't even have it, or other folks do not even have access to it. The minister. It's a committee. If the committee, a special select committee, if you will, for some reason, if it come over and call for maybe clarification, let me move this guy away. I think he's not even sure what you're talking about. It should be circulated, that report, not on the eve of maybe calling the minister or whoever needs to appear before the committee. The committee should have a timeline to review, to digest, to get acquainted with the document and be able to ask questions of season, and not just go there like a little child and scratching your ear and acting like you get shagara around your ear and stuff like that. We saw here, Benghazi Select Committee. We're seeing the January 6th here. They gather everything. Every committee members, those on that committee responsible, they have asset, they have everything, they have their role to play, and they began to call in the witnesses of those who are supposed to testify. But it appears he might have asset to it, and if you listen further down, there are other people who even have no idea, and the discussion is going. Now he coming back to be a good guy. The public might have asset to it. So when you saw A, when you review A, no public interest. You never had time for the public. Now he wants to be the good guy now. And this is what I heard, Mr. George. When people come, yeah, this one is doing something. Do you think those gardens having issue with gas? No. Not having issue with gas. They eat into 247. They're riding nice car, $50,000, $45,000 cars. Everything is going on fine. In the night, they have their conversation. And then when it comes daylight, they stand in front of Lpr, they stand in front of Spoon TV, Co-Spoon TV, Co-Power TV, and they scream, they yell, and they want some of us to believe them. What's your take?
And comment we say?
I was waiting for you to call your name.
You see, they said that they went to the public account. They referred the call in the public account at the Senate to do the audit, and the committee went and did all the audits, and they brought in. That was the committee finding that they were going giving the plenary now present to the body. And he said, based on the report, there was no money misused when the rules form. And they did not authorize the Minister of Finance to redirect that funds. They said that it was their colleagues at the time. But the question I asked, if you wanted to be transparent, why didn't call some of those former senators who were there, who they alleged that did that recap, to ask them to testify in front of the public? Did you people pass the recap 2021 to 2020? Nobody asked that question. Then the worst thing is that the Minister of Finance had gone on air and said the Senate had a private conversation.
You were providing counsel even to the minister. You must be careful what you say.
Yes, I have a conversation with the legislature, and they authorized me. And coming there with of all person, could not say at the end of the statement, you know what happened? The minister will have to come here and make a public statement, apologize to the Liberian people in the Honorable Senate for giving misleading information. He falls short of that. He said, oh, we'll talk to the minister not to do it again. No, there's been on national radio accusing you people of giving authorization, which is a violation of the Constitution. If he said, predecessor passes, what are some of the people who were in the Senate at the time to come and testify? Did you people call them to confirm what the minister has said? Nothing will happen. And I saw Senator Dillon ask some question, but again, this is why
it's not exempted from this whole thing.
Yeah, this is why I said, and we'll continue to say, election matters. He asked a few questions. He said, okay, I want to see what item was this $7 million transfer from? It's the budget year. The recap will say from this item to this item because there's more money at this and that. But that was watered down. They said no, that was not the issue. So the bottom line here to our people, the Minister of Finance, and this is what I said. The President pro tem is from CDC. The Speaker is from CDC. The Executive Chief on the Executive side, Joseph, is from CDC. So these are the people that are running the billing. And you saw, I think, Porcha Esteem coming in, who said that he was sure of the document, but then Esteem. You say you're sure of it, then why you didn't vote for it?
Oh, God.
Senator Dillon did not vote. He voted against it. So, but it's to tell you what these people are doing, how they're running the country. When the Minister of Finance, why they could not bring the Minister of Finance to recant his statement? Why they could not subpoena him or invite him to come and explain to the public what led him to make that statement at the time to the public? But you see what happened? They said, no, there's no need for the minister to come. After this man had gone on national radio and said that the current sitting Senate gave him an authorization, and you people said, no, you did not give him that authorization. So why you cannot bring him back to show who are the people that he had consultation with? And it's not verbal, it's not even verbal. Everything that pertains to Liberian people money, there must be a documentation. Because before you spend 1 cent, The Liberian Senate will have to give you that go-ahead to spend the revenue, put the budget. So if you're alleging that they gave you authority and it was not written, it was verbal, that is a serious violation of the Constitution to act upon verbal message, a verbal or statement or message from the Senate. Who are the leader you spoke about? Why they didn't call him? Why our chair could not bring him back to say, come and tell us who are the people that gave you the verbal instruction? But our judge said, no, that was done. Case closed. That's why we say elections matter.
What does that suggest? Tell us. The politicians have said this over and over. They are very calculative. They are very innovative. They are very smart. They know exactly what they are doing. But we also have another group of people, we the Liberians, the electors and supporters. They don't see this. They feel nothing wrong with it, simply because it plays in their narrative or is a force on the lap of maybe individuals or political party that they support.
Yes.
If we who are out of government, if our mindset for our country is, if it can be changed and we can be decisive to say, yes, even though Emma George is a sympathizer of ANC. Oh, am I correct?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a case study here. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. But in as much he is, one day Amos George can even say, no, this one where Alexander Cummings did is wrong. Everything that comes out of Alexander Cummings and the ANC is okay. When even he knows that it's wrong, Amos George will give justification to say, oh, it happened yesterday. You don't talk that our own, you want to talk now. Now, with this sort of system here, I'm not sure how we can stabilize, we can have independent executives to make decisions. I'm wondering to see here. I want to kind of stay away with it, but I will say in a kind of way, whatever it is. I'm willing to see a government in Liberia, and this is not just only George Weah, it's been happening from over and over, where responsibility is given to you by your bosses. Say you are a manager or you are in this position, it falls right under your jurisdiction. And then they just take it and just give it to you. You are the decision maker. Until you screw up or whatever it is, there are consequences there. Everybody got to mess up down the road. I want to see that kind of days coming in the country where people will be given the opportunity to, without not interfering. I'm not sure I don't know what a government that we're going to see that happen, because that's part of what we are talking about here. All of those people, it's not a strange thing. They are scrambling now is because they know what is at stake. So they want to be Mr. Perfect now. So the whole everybody corrupt. The entire country is corrupt. That I can say. People that are in the streets, everybody corrupt. So who can get this system fixed?
Mr. Soe, training starts at home. Discipline starts at home. If every day you're singing song to your children, to steal is not good. Don't take anything that is not belong to you. To lie is not good. That becomes part of the grown-up process. Many of us, or parents, maybe said it once or two times, but hey, what am I listening to the old man, old lady for? I gotta do my own thing. All people drain it. Many of these people don't have character. Wear decent clothes, highly educated, but when they come to their character, they don't value it, and they fail to understand that it's the only thing that can make you a human being, your character. Because that's what people will define you by. But the call someone, they say, oh, man, that man, I rule. Oh, that man, you can't trust him. That is a serious problem. And it is the kind of thing that you see people in Liberia take for joke. Oh, maybe I will do what they go do, just that year. But don't you go down the line. People see your children and say, oh, who that person? Don't mind that person, that man who stole all the money, and now he's on there. So, but our people don't think on those things. They just look at what they're going to get today. The rest of the country, they don't care what people say about them. Because if these people were being careful, then by now, we see people with character to stand and say, you know what happened? No. Yes, we're in it together, but this we can't do, so it's not right. When Samuel 12 made that statement, you don't know what the responsibility of the Senate to call him immediately, or they conduct the audit, to come and tell us who gave you the authorization, because there's an accusation you're making on the entire Senate. Come and tell the public, but nobody did it. Even when they went to section, so they don't raise the issue. That the minister will come, they say, oh no, we conducted an audit. When we finish with the audit, then we'll determine whether the minister will come or not. The oil has nothing to do with that. The oil is part of the problem. But the second thing is, he maligns people, saying that people gave him verbal authorization, which is a violation of the Constitution. So why not call him to come and clarify that issue? Now the report came, they said no. Now, this is why they say conspiracy theory come in. Because the other I heard on the radio station that the people were trying to backdate the document to say the people were there, did a recap. And exactly that's why they say, oh, our colleagues did a recap.
So the question now is, why few people? I'm not sure, and that's you don't call them for them to talk to people. So it leaves us with a lot of speculation because they feel comfortable places to go to have this sort of conversation because they're going to have a free pass. So the question now is, I don't know whether any of the lawmakers, anybody raised that question. Who are those? Who are the few people that have access to that? And if so, why are they? But are they member of the committee? Why certain member of the committee had access to the document and other people didn't? And he could make, we said now is coming out. He doing, I think, which is, I think itself is uncertainty. Nobody knows exactly what he's saying. He's not being definitive to say, this is what I think they do this here and what he said. So what is he trying to prove now?
So no,
are we getting out of this picture?
No. Here's the thing. Senator Dillon asked the question. He said, but you said the recap, but where's the copy? Then they said, oh.
Why should people, why should a copy be requested?
They said, oh, we have the copy. So Senator Dillon said, but why y'all get a copy of certain people and leave other people? They said, okay, no, okay, y'all gonna get him one. So you see how people run government. But I bet you, those some of the people who got their own company, they don't run the company like that. But when it comes to the government,
that's the sad thing of our country. The government
it's like people
good to work for the country, but when it comes to government, they just treat it like a trash, or who cares? Nobody gonna do me.
You got 32 senators or what have you. There's a report. That report will be circulated among all the senators, whether you come from John Brown party or XY party, that document should be circulated among every one of them so they can read it and digest it. But you get certain document and leave certain portion out. You get certain people out. When you come to the level of trying to argue, there's someone say, oh, I have the copy. Then the other person say, what happened? Oh, you don't have the copy? Okay, get them copy. What is that? And like I said that, you are not representing your people.
So why will I don't know. This is very difficult to sort of to give it a conversation. But we're going to do our best to give it to have a conversation the way we understand it, because none of them coming forth pieces of information coming is just insufficient, immaterials to really just add up to it. So why these committee members, these select committee members, various committee members, if they are if someone is being subpoenaed, such a crucial thing that why can they insist to have on hand the document they don't want to read, or what is why, and it just go into session? That should be the first demand.
What
Can you imagine like the Benghazi, what his name, guy, this small hair guy, he's no longer in the Congress again, a Republican, Galloway or whatever. He was Anthony. He was the guy that was on Hillary. Can you imagine going to a conference like that without him having the document before his desk? So how are you going to ask questions? How you peruse through? What's the conversation you're going to carry? You just call in the individual to testify, and that's it. And without you having a source of reference, what he or she's saying, to see what a commensurate with a talking point.
But this is the thing. And now they said the committee said they called somebody to it and he went there. But why did you make this hearing public? Because there's something crucial. The entire country was talking about it. And if you call a minister, why you make it public?
Are we just having this conversation? By next week, we're going to have a different theater cinema opening to have a different thing. Is that the end of it now, you think?
That's it. That's it. The closing suggestion was the minister.
Trey Galloway. Thank you so much, Ben Bedford. Yeah, I'm not a, I like, I'm kind of like a moderate in here and there. But I like the system to be in. Thank you to Bedford. That's saying. You see the guy when he was sitting down, when he used to stress his eyes. See those people. Look, this is, I think we should learn what is happening even right now here. We call ourselves small America. Yes, because everything on a daily basis, we Americanize ourselves as a librarian, which is also good. You know what the people are fighting for right now as a result of this January 6th? They're not fighting for Democrats. They're not fighting for Republicans. They are fighting to protect democracy. It is the foundations of this country. So not even one person. See the people that are going to testify right now. Let them tell them to go to say that and go, hell no, that's not going to work. They are fighting to protect an institution.
Yes.
Bill Clinton said tomorrow they can call him. If there's anything comes out today with Barack Obama, yeah, whatever, 5th or 6th, something, some explanation, or people close to him, they're going to come, they're going to tell them, yes, you advised this man for 6 years, 8 years, he was there, or 4 years, or whatever it is. What did you know? You have to say. All because it's the institutions they try to preserve. But it's not.
You see, Mr. Soe, you have to sit down and look at us. To tell the truth about your friend, that is the best thing you can do. But for us, we feel that the best thing to do is to lie. Even if your friend did the wrong thing, to lie to say, oh, he did not do it. Or your institution to lie, oh no, he didn't do it. Then we say, oh, that is good. But let me take you back to something so you can you saw the scene. When the CPP trial was going on.
Exactly. Control, the children are testifying.
The call more are you to testify. What a man did, and he denied his religion. He said he cannot swear in the Bible, he cannot swear in the Quran. What does tell you about our people? If I want the court to testify against you, Mr. Soe, why I say I will not swear in the Bible? When I know that I'm going to say nothing but the truth about you. But you see some people applaud him.
Oh yeah, he's partisan.
Oh yeah. But then
Don't go there. The other person went there that time. Don't go there.
The religion is believing. Did anybody from that religion question him that, hey, you are Muslim. You got a right to say you're not swearing the Bible. But why you didn't swear the Quran? When you know you want to talk the truth.
Who knows the man? Maybe, I don't know, Joseph Boyka wins it.
So, but that's okay. The insincerity is being built in us. So when you do that, how can you tell your child or daughter to talk the truth when their brother or sister is wrong? When you, the father, is not doing it, how can you tell your child to say no? Even if it is a brother that will put him in trouble, say the truth. But this is the kind of society we're having in Liberia. You see the children go to school here? Every day they don't lie. You ask them, oh, I cannot lie. Daddy, I cannot.
One of the people that I know on planet Earth are very unapologetic is the Liberian politician. He would never, they lie until you can take them to the poll, say they will still lie, even if it is true. I don't know why. It shows that they are not willing to even to do the right thing. No one is infallible. Everybody, we're all here, we have our own pitfall, we have our own shortcoming. But to even say, I'm sorry, if they will say sorry, they will add something to A in defense of what they are doing. And their supporter will be there to cheer them up.
And that, Mr. Soe, that's what I'm telling you. This is a generational issue. In the schools, until we start teaching our children from elementary kindergarten, don't lie.
The people who are going to be teaching said they're lying. So how are you going to get that?
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. To change the system, it would require a whole lot of work. No breed of people to say, hey, from kindergarten, don't lie. If it's don't spy, don't cheat, all these things. So when the children are grown up with it becomes part of them. But they turn the radio on, they see the minister line. They see this person, B person line.
All right. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's have this pay commercial here. And when we come back, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka is in Lofa County ahead of a consequential senatorial. With that, I turn the table around. So let's take this commercial and we will be right back.
There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. Our next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation.
That's the guy that want to go. He wants to go on the 8th floor of the executive market. I don't know, 8th floor or 5th floor, which one, which are the floors here they're going to be on. And that's Alexander Benedict Cummings. We are hearing he's en route to the United States, where the major fundraiser is going to be to get a super power global star. Okay, so let's go back here. As consequential race is ongoing. The final debate is going to be in Zozo. We are making arrangement to see if we can bring that, just how we did. Time could not permit us to have the second debate that took place in Foyat today. So the last debate going to be in Zozo, I believe, this Saturday. I believe this Saturday. I'm going to look at the calendar here. So ahead of that, the political leader, as they call them, or their folks call them, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka, is in Lofa County ahead of his senatorial race. Let's watch and see. Courtesy of our sister network crew televisions in Liberia.
We know where we're from and we know our heart. We can't be our heart, we go to the sea or go to the darkness. So are you? On behalf of the town and the district, to say, Uncle when Sandy are having welcome. Okay. And Papa. This is cool. But we are very sorry on the time, you know, because of the time, how can we are doing here? Okay. But you, this condition will come when we say 8 o'clock. One more again. I think, you know, if anybody come out to say your father was a Christian man, your mother was a Christian man, I the son, I proved to the president that my mother was not a Christian man. The people have proved to us in Nova County that we are Christian people, and we will prove to them that we are not a Christian people. We are sound-minded people. And we stood up and said, for the old man and that of the follower, which is Brani has stood up again and bring our son, our nephew to us. Today, we stand by you, uncle, and we're going to make it in local country. 100%. So if your son, you don't have nothing, but we'll give you welcoming cola. This is your country. This is your children. continue to be with you. And we're going to speak for you. The Lord will speak for you. If a child, if take Jack, born a child, let us take care of that child. No animal in the bush will grab that animal. Okay. So we are your children. Thank you.
Mr. Josh.
Yeah.
The gentleman there who is presenting white chicken, he's speaking in core as a specific language he's speaking. The people think we are crazy. We are not crazy. And then Brennan Samuka name came into the picture. What do you think? Is Ambassador Boyka, is he going to make a difference showing up there?
What
Politically, what does he try to prove? The timing is good. That shows another way of building his political momentum, especially in his, you don't want to be the Agor, where you can take control of your own area. That's the very first place you need to show strength in order for people to say, oh, okay, we can take a shot at this guy. So he gone in there now. That's the momentum aspect to the candidate, whoever the candidate they're going to be supporting. Is that sufficient enough?
Yeah, that given his status in the country, he's now the face or the godfather of that country. So whoever he lift up, it carries some weight. So that's why he go in there to reinforce the message. But if even that man will win the elections, it would be of CDC. Because what they did to Brandon Samuka, that's why I see that man is speaking in that court. He's speaking in. They did it to Brandon Samuka. They say, we are crazy. They did it to Brandon Samuka. Now, they come back. So even if they don't like that man, or for any reason, they want to prove to the CDC government that what you did to us, this is the payback. And that is the message they want to send to the CDC government.
Would that be a long? This seems to be, and it will be a long political blowback. What has happened, the Samuka issue, I have my own different versions in terms of how it was approached and how the Lothians and even the opposition took it here. But this seems to be something that's not going away for now, especially with the ruling establishment. See, they have their own folks in a hurricane that are from Lofa to within the CBC. Do they have that political will to stabilize and bring it to equilibrium, to bring it to baseline here instead of escalating, or it's already derailed?
No, it derailed. I think someone got mad from the Loma group. And yeah, I think he might from Lofa. So
Yaka said he was going there yesterday on 50-50.
He there, I saw him. He's there. He there. So the people, what the government did to the people, that some kind will never go away between the CDC and the people of Lofa.
What's the Basa? What Samuka did? What the government did? What was the Basa of?
Now listen, the government knew that this man used this money. They knew it. Why allow him to go through all that process of registering
That's not a government responsibility to that's not a government responsibility to reject him. It's not a government that satisfied Kennedy.
No, but Mr. So here's the thing here. The man allegedly took money from the government. He uses people's funds that work for the government. In this case, the government was aware of it. The president himself.
That's a political opponent, Pa George.
But then, listen, these are the things people do. This is why I see today they are all tangled into it.
Remember, but this whole thing here, because it's all things considered, so we're just going to bucket them up here as well. But remember, within the Unity Party too, there is some sort of disconnect. Brani Samuka, there were other folks, when you talk to other folks on the other side of the Unity Party, he was saying as the future of the Unity Party, obviously. I mean, no questions about that. And then you have the boycott wing and the other wing on the other side of the Unity Party who see him, they saw him as a threat. Why these people, this is what I have a problem with. Why they decided to have a rally to even pay back that money? What was the purpose? Why they didn't put the law to test in the first place? Why they decided to pay back? It almost like you are already agreed of a crime being committed.
No. The fire established, crime was committed.
Even though you can challenge, the court said this is what you should do. It's like telling me here, if I know I didn't do something, and you say you want to put me in jail, and you want me to have that sort of settlement, okay, you say you don't do it, but this is also payback. You consent of wrongdoing.
That is a fact. No, Brani Samuka accepted the wrongdoing. The court gave
damage Brani Samuka.
No, Ellen Johnson said he did not damage Brani Samuka. He damaged himself.
Yeah,
the court gave him an auction. Pay this, and you have your freedom. So the people said, okay. They start writing. Because the court, their calculation was Brani Samuka would not be able to come up with this money. That was the assumption the court had. So when they saw that the money was coming,
how you got to you're a soothsayer? You read a mind?
I'm not soothsayer, Mr. Just how you said, it's a plain thing. You say I'm guilty. I said okay. They said okay, but you can pay the money 6 months or go to jail. I said okay.
The court interpretation it has nothing to do with the crime that was committed. The court in itself punishment cannot be two different punishment cannot be imposed on one person. I believe that in the context the court was taking that, but there is also a hook that is there. Hey, if this guy, if there's a crime committed, then there's also the probability of us not allowing him, because wrongdoing is he has already done wrong, so he cannot take part. That a court cannot stop.
But suppose one argue that suppose one argue that it was after the judgment. I mean, after the election, before the judgment was run up.
I worked with someone in the past. He's a very smart guy. I think where the lawyers, his defense team, and even the whole CPPA, I'm going to dash this on them, whether they like it or not. They were not forceful. His defense team took a wrong path. They should have allowed that process to have been a jury trial than the bench, because that way they would have selected jury. And believe me or not, there were other people going to say, okay, maybe we're going to have a second thought on this whole thing here and say, okay, we'll vote down on this.
Maybe they would have had a hang jury.
But when they took that decision, it was the decisions of the judge to determine.
That's right. Yeah, that's a judge.
And that's what they did. I think that was a wrong move. I don't know whether they realized that before they came to us. I'm not sure why they decided to go that route in the first place.
Well, it's something ask the lawyers, because that's a bench trial. So one of the judges, there's no jury.
So why? Yeah, because they had an opportunity to have gone either with the jury or the bench, which of course that bench would have been in it, because then, I mean, it's better to have a jury trial. Out of 6, 7, 10, 12, or whatever people are going to be selected, hey, come on, 4 or 5 are going to be there to say, you know what?
Yeah, 2 or 3. That's all.
They're going to take that.
Yeah.
So why they did that? I don't understand. Were they sure of anything?
It's a leak of people. Well, as we're saying, so the bottom line, the Lpr-Tv feed that they were disenchanted by the government.
Are the Lothians too? Were they adequately informed of this whole case here, or it was taken out of proportion or out of sympathy? We want to get this. Do they consider all of the factors, everything surrounding this case, or people just had a little limited information about this case?
Some of them knew it, but some of them knew. But the one point they are making, or two, they say, why did the government allow the man to run?
That's not an arguable case to me.
Well, it's arguable because you see, what I'm going to tell you, Mr. Soe, the Solicitor General, the case was dead. They knew. But listen to what Samuka said first.
Look,
that the CDC approached him to run on a ticket in Lofa, and he said no. So that was where the resurgence of the case came back after he refused to go on a ticket. That went and they say, oh, we'll hope this guy, we got a case on him now. So when
even though a crime was committed.
Yes. Okay, now, so tell me, if you are going on CDC ticket, there will be no crime.
Okay, but that's what politics is all about. It's a give and take. I am not saying what the day is wrong, but I'm just being in the real world. Politics is not a children game. And I think Samuka was smart. Yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is that they knew there was already a date on him. The CDC knew already a date. And so they wanted somehow this sort of political compromise. And remember, it's not a Western side, Amos George. For God's sake, it's not a Western side. Where are you going to see? And I'm not either suggesting here to say we should continue on this path, but I'm not sure how we're going to undo this. So they already had a date on him. This is the day. You remember where they said with Clinton and all of that kind of stuff here? Yeah. So that's what they had. All right, so they were already trying to find that loophole, and that loophole was formed. So they say, okay, and I'm quite sure that discussion, believe me, if we were to have a camcorder on there and come out, I believe it was an extensive conversation. That I know, they wanted him, no question about that. They needed him so badly, because they wanted to kind of like split Lofa, because Lofa is very crucial to the process, even though that was the only place the woman won last round. But they wanted to get a good chunk of people there, maybe to cut down the number. And so when that happened, they said, oh, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put a hook on this guy. But I'm saying here too, what are the CPP or the collaborative party? Were they forceful standing behind Samuka, you think, in real time?
No. His party was not forceful. Because you see, your partner is the one that's supposed to call the other person and say, hey, we got to ride around that person. That's your party you're representing. So the Unity Party.
Remember, within the Unity parties, Brandon Samuka was potentially the possibility. He just wanted to go. Believe me or not, if you even won this thing here, Brandon Samuka he was going to contest, and that was going to be a bone of contention. He was going to be a formidable candidate. Everything falls right in his lap. The international connection is there, no questions about that. Very disciplined person. I don't know how he managed or what was his decision at the time to allow himself to be drowned in that sort of boogie trap with Helen Johnson Sirleaf, to allow that to happen.
It's not a boogie trap, Mr. Soe. Brandon Lava had an option for his lawyer to call former President Ellington Sirleaf to testify. They didn't do it. They said no. So it was not a booby trap. And it's, I think, he never wanted to damage his relationship with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, knowing her. He worked with her 12 years.
It's not being used like a sacrificial lamb.
Well, so he decided to take the wrath and let his former boss not to appear in court. But going back again, the Unity Party did not help Brandon Samuka.
Not at all.
as what you're seeing.
But that's the reason I'm just telling you now. That's the reason,
that's
because
what I'm saying.
he was saying as a potential, and there were other folks within the Unity Party strongly believe this sort of entitlement is still for Joseph Boyka. And so they were doing everything possible. There were other people that were having this sort of cry finger that were still holding back of everything deep down in their heart with their political mindset. Let this thing go downhill. Let this thing go downhill. And at the end of the day, we can just throw it on the government. But they were happy. What happens? To be honest with you.
But that's the thing.
They didn't stand with Samuka. They were not in the fight with Samuka.
No, but that is the thing that happened with the CPP. When they were talking all along, they were going, by the time I have a convention, then trouble started. So this is the dirty game of politics in Liberia. But something I wanted to say to the people on Lufa.
Okay. I'm going to put a number out here quickly. They'll have our folks participate.
And also to my friend, because I know Councilor Jala very well. We all came from the Liberian Action Party. Very well, I know him.
I wonder after they won, he was still wrong. Or he was staying.
But I think politically, if he doesn't win, he will be at fault.
He's playing a bass. Go ahead.
And I'm saying this. The risk he's taking, he better win, but if he doesn't win, he will be at fault. Because, let's see, the going election, he came second. He was next to Barney Samoka. Now, he said he went as independent. That was good for him. But to see the life of some of our generation going in the throne of weight behind him and knowing what
the man left his own party.
What the people had done, what the CDC-led government had done to Barney Samoka. Why would you want to take that kind of risk? Even he went as an independent, that's fine. Those people should have been in the background, but to make them the face of your campaign. I find it difficult how Jala will win this election. He could. And I said that if I was in touch with him, and I would have told him, say, hey, don't go down that route. Go as an independent and contest. If he doesn't win, fine. But to make CDC, they failed to put out a candidate in Lofa, CDC. So why they want to use you?
It's to muddy the water.
That's a bad judgment for him. Because now the people in Lofa will not look at him as a son again. They will look at him as being part of that CDC group that led to the disqualification of Barney Samoka. That's how they will be. Most people that had to look at him now. And this is a side thing, because I say, if CDC knows that they had done work in Lofa, why didn't they put their own independent, why didn't they put a candidate? But they refused because they know what? They had done some assessment that they cannot win in Lofa. So when Jala now, then they said, okay, we're going to throw our support behind Jala. And Mr. So there's a new thing that's trending in Liberia. People go, they say they're independent. When they win, then they say they go to CDC. Because CDC don't have the support to win the candidate. So they go behind, they go as an independent. Then when they win, they say, oh, I joined CDC. Look at the guy from Kedma. The man runs on CDC, did not win. He went to the CP, he won a few months, he crossed over. And guess what? The guy from Kedma today was talking. People that put the neck on the line for this guy. The guy said, the Jeep that the man is riding, that white Jeep, he said it was Nathaniel Market, the person that bought it for him and gave it to him. The very first Jeep he ran, white Jeep, the guy described it, that he said, they were the one that was running similar to that campaign. Then he said, because he won the contract with the B Mountain, they told him that they would not approve the contract until he joined CDC. So those are reasons that similar to the one to CDC for.
My son, politics, if you're a child and you're wearing diaper, don't get involved in politics.
No,
your own son can carry you in deep sea and take the life jacket and say, oh man, swim. If you can't swim, leave it alone.
No, you see,
What?
but Mr. So let me tell you one thing.
Who calling this number here? The number you have to call, the number is on the is 682-433-8802. I don't know why they call my personal
You
number.
see, let me tell you one thing. There are certain people I saw in like people.
433-8802. That's the number to call. This is All Things Considered right here. It's on the Liberia Public Radio. Call and we can have a conversation here. What you think, what you want to consider, what you think is important, what we're talking. You don't necessarily have to go with that talking point. This is what we say, all things considered. Just call and we can have your view. So who do you think going to win that race?
Given the circumstances, I think the Unity Party candidate will win that race. Yeah. Because my point here is, if Jara had just gone as an independent, I think he would have seen a better chance. But the way the CDC had thrown their hand in, that had just add some insult to that political thing, because the people stay, let's say, having that anchor that CDC denied them of someone that they really elected.
Can you trust the electorate in making that sort of something decisions? Okay, let me go to the pro man here. Let's see where's the pro conversation that he have here. This is Rebel Says Pro from Wisconsin. Pro man.
Yeah, Mr. So, how you doing, man? Look, I gotta find a time to be a guest on that show to promote the pro agenda.
Well, maybe I need to send cable wire there to bring you, because I've tired talking. I've talked and talking. You don't want to come. So if you're ready, let us know. We say this network is not just for politicians. We want it be for ordinary Liberians. Yeah, we have to take the conversation out of the hands of the politician. So okay, Pro, go ahead. Let's see here. You say you want to promote?
Mr. So, yeah, I just want to congratulate our party on its 17th anniversary. It was great. Despite of all the negativity out there, it was successful in my mind. But I heard your guest talking about those people who went over to CDC. He tried to say they.
I want you to come on video this evening here, Pro. So the people, I want you to come on video. Let the people see you, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I will. But we gotta find a weekend. Yeah, you gotta find one of the weekend slots for me. Right now, my work, I just came for my schedule funny. Yeah, it's from 2 to 10. From 2 to
all right.
2 p.m.
Go ahead, my boy.
Yeah. So, look, Gabriel Koda, the late Gabriel Koda said, always hang your clothes where the sun shines. And history has proven that when people gravitate toward a political party, there's a 85% chance that the party wins the election. We saw it during people will question Samuel K. Dotan, but when you see a lot of those people flip over to him, I don't know why opposition always panic. You know, the level of hypocrisy is too much. So when I notice when people go over to the opposition side, they always say, "Oh, wise man changes." Then they consider them, you know, they move over because they are wise people. You know, that's why they left CDC or other party and went to them. But when people come to CDC, I notice that there is always some confusion, some panic money, and people trying to justify that, you know, out there. People say, well, those people, they you know, they're not anybody. You know, a lot of things people say, look, those people made up their mind. I mean, those are people who be in politics.
Okay. All right. Let's make it
the green light, huh?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. In 30 seconds, let me go to the other folks, but you can stay there just in case somebody want to debunk your statement, so you will respond.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you say people, you congratulate your party for the 17 years of what?
For the 17th anniversary, it was great. You know, people try to say, "Oh,
what was the greatness here?" Before I go to the next caller, what was the greatness you want to point to?
Mr. So, remember, it was a party anniversary. There's a difference between a party anniversary and a state of the nation thing. So,
no, I'm not talking about state party anniversary. The party is a governing party. Give away a reflection a flashback.
Well, we are achieve a lot of things when we're talking about the 150 bedroom hospital in Grand Bassa County. We talk about the recently opening in Bapolu. The president is the first of its kind that I've seen hospital, I have seen road, I have seen.
Okay, that's a lot. Hold on one second.
You know.
Okay, hold on. Don't go away. Don't go away. Let me go to the next person here. Just hang on there. Don't go before when somebody will slam you so I can this and friend. Okay, let me go to 612 number here 3168 caller. Good evening, and then from there we'll go to 717 number 612-3168. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Soe. This is Terry calling from Minnesota.
Terry, I thought you were in Liberia campaigning, my man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Really. Yeah, I think, Mr. Soe, I think CDC, I would be very surprised that CDC win this election in 2023 because if CDC do lose the election, they may not be able to see power for the next 50 years. So I think they're doing everything possible not to lose this election. And that would cause for every member of the CDC to come back together. And if George Weah can get that thing on the horse, he might likely succeed. But I would be very surprised if they lose. Because if they lose, there are consequences. There have been no political party that have lose elections in Liberia that have surfaced again. All right, it's very difficult from the history. It have been very. You said CDC who?
CDC did. Ellen Johnson defeated CDC. The CDC still remain. What? I mean, what are you talking about, brother?
Okay, gentlemen, let the guy make his point. So I'll go to the next person. Go ahead.
Was never in power. CDC was never in power.
Oh, okay.
This is CDC first time taking state power. I mean, you take state power and lose election and come back again after another political party rule for several years. It has been very difficult for political party to gain that relevance. So if CDC do miss this opportunity, based upon the record that based upon what we see, it will be very difficult for them for the people to trust them again to give them state power. That's my point. Number two, the local scenario is I would be very surprised if Joseph Walker do not pull this thing. Why? Because the people in local, they are traditional, and they will be very much willing to pay back the CDC-led government for what they did to Bani Samuka. I would be very surprised if Unity Party lose this election. Thank you.
Okay, let me go to this number here and go to Mikey 717 number 2909. Views and opinions expressed here that's not in any way it is a view of LPR, but will facilitate this hardcore conversation. 717 number, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is James calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Mr. Davis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Let me just correct Lufa. I know Rivers Airport. It's not Liverpool. It was they got from Lufa County. No, from Lufa County. Photo.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Politics, don't support. Make a reason before you say anything wrong.
Hey, my man. Thank you for correcting me.
That's why your Riverside County are using store as administrative building. All the people more. You have Riverside now because it's the least developed county.
Oh Lord, I mean, why are you picking up my man pro for now?
Yeah, man.
No, I want that pro that you got to clean your body after before you start talking to other people. I'm from Bon County. My city is better than.
So let me ask you. You can change your talk because I'm hearing the news that I'm hearing from Bon County there. But anyway, talk your talk for it. That one will send it to
Forget about Nathaniel McGill. Nathaniel McGill can't even see line Bon County. I'm there from there.
I know what.
Okay, go ahead, David.
I know what you are. How Taylor did for you over there. Your city woman, the educated woman, you are how Taylor said, and then nothing happened. Come on, go ahead.
Go ahead. Make your point.
With order, it's state development and we were there 200 times.
Okay, boss, go ahead.
You know, you can't ruin your home. Let me just come in like this. They always come CDC say we build road. Sometimes you got to ask them which road they build. Which one of the road?
Gentlemen, this is not Judge Judy Court. Make a point.
I mean,
Yeah, you want to always say we build hospital, we build. How you gonna build hospital? You don't get doctor, you not get nurses, you not get medication in the country. They say hospital, you build daily.
Why you can't appreciate what you have, bro? You never had that before.
Hello, gentlemen.
Let me make my point.
Gentlemen.
Somebody daily church, is that daily church or what they pay no congregation? There's no build church, so build church. So what the congregation? Who gonna sit out there? What the pastor? There are no nurses. They can't pay on time. They don't even pay them on good. There are no medical doctors. You know, the medical doctors they go to take it. You go to the malaria doctor they get it. When you go there, they either say you get malaria or you get what are other sickness in typhoid and malaria doctor. Then all in the country. You get no medication, no equipment, nothing in the country. They say they build horses. That horses is built there for nothing. That's for pleasure. Where are the medical equipment? How much the government put into medication? How much the government put into hospital? Look at the budget. Look at JFK budget. Look at president budget. Look at speaker budget. Compare them. This is how you know the government is doing for the people. When you look at the budget, what the government is giving to the rest of the country, and what the government is giving, like the president is giving himself, it's more than what he's giving to the rest of the country. Even to go around, to go country tour, it's more than what he's giving all the country. You got to look at all these things, so nobody can on this land. You're lying, your country not developed, you're sitting down there, you're everything.
Oh, my man. All right.
Mr. So can I come in?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mr. So can I come in small? Okay.
Yeah, make
Let me
point.
tell that man that first in our nation history, we have a military hospital. Mr. So that our servicemen and women, they are on peacekeeping duty in Mali, I think the Central African Republic and other parts of Africa. This is the first time since I was born in Liberia, we had a BDC barrack. Like in the United States, we had a vet hospital, a VA hospital. We have one of such kind in Liberia, thanks to George E. Manuel Williams. Our servicemen and women, when they get wounded overseas, when they get wounded in other neighboring countries, at least they can come home to seek medical attention.
Okay, let me pick up this other call here quickly. All right, thank you so much. Okay. Let me see this number, 832 number to 1441. Are you there?
Yeah.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ambrose Talon. I'm calling from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, welcome to the show. What are you considering?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I can't believe how Unity people can be so dishonest, or how the gospel to talk about the government when they have 12 years and they never did anything with all these resources that went to our country. I saw Foya today. That was heartbreaking. And Joseph Barker being working in government. No, let me honest. You watch that video? Saw someone replacing Foya?
I saw it. I was just showing it too.
Yeah.
You got it.
I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. How can the bad president come from that district and actually look like that? I saw that picture. I was heartbroken. I said, damn. Liberia, all these millions of millions that goes to Liberia, that just you still get places in Liberia that looks again, Dusty Road. I saw the police pictures. I wonder if this, I can't know if this is a fourth world country I was looking at, but I know that's Liberia, but people wants to brag about Joseph Barker. It's like it's disheartening. Like the gentleman I just called, maybe comparison about role. I'm not a big fan of Georgia. I don't like Georgia for no reason. I don't want him to be president of Liberia.
You don't like him, or you don't like his policy?
I don't like his policy. I like him as a Liberian.
Okay.
But to be a president for Liberia, I totally disagree with him on
Why?
a lot of stuff.
Why?
I think he's a good gentleman, but he's just not a leader to lead our country. For the type of problem that we have, we need somebody that's swift, that's someone that can make hard decisions. Like, look at the incident right now. You have an audit report, and he's dragging his feet, coming with all the time of 2020 excuse. He has not got a report, so he can't suspend people. You have a whole audit report. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. I know you say you need someone who's going to make a strong decision. Have you come to the point, have you determined who that person is?
I love Cummings, but I think I'm getting a little bit on the curve with Cummings, because suppose, like the activity that we'll be having in Jacksonville, I already contributed But I think Mr. Comey have done some things there, or I've heard some things there, that a little bit making me to take a back. You see, for me,
like what? Do you care to share those with us?
You know, you see, I'm a naturalized American citizen, but whenever I go to Liberia, I go with my American passport. My learning, like I said, a lot of the folks that go to Liberia, the reason why they go to Ghana is because then they can use their equal passport from Ghana to go to Liberia, and I think that is honest. If you have American passport,
have you validated that information?
To be honest with you, I've heard a lot of folks say,
but the president said that every Liberian should get a passport.
A lot of people do it because I'm not an immigration officer, but I'm just saying people saying
no, not necessarily immigration officer, because and the reason I'm asking here, all of us is our country. So if I even come out here and say something, don't just take it, say, okay, maybe it comes from Alphonso Zean Soe, it comes from LPR. Sometimes you want to make sure to check that information as well, because not necessary, it probably could be, but not necessarily everybody that transit Ivory Coast, Ghana, because they have their people do their travels in different reasons, form and shape. But, you know, politics always is a greater portion of our time. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, and Mr. Comey is not the only person that is guilty or they are accusing of that. So the Mala Edin, somebody said she does the same thing, and Judge Media said they say he does that. And I believe that you got dual citizenship with France, America. But you know, if you're not that honest, you know, we talk like the gentleman, your secret guest is talking about corruption in a different platform. But if you're not honest with this type of little stuff, you know, if you're American citizen, be bold and be courageous. But you say, yeah, I'm an American citizen. You know, but don't be sneaky. Act like once you something and you something different. You know, I think that's just a minor little story, but I feel like you're being dishonest. And
but let me ask you this man here.
Labrace, you know, halfless. I suppose Mr. Comey go halfless. I believe he can be a good leader. But I just found it a little bit difficult when I started hearing a lot of different stuff. And I contribute towards all his activities, but I'm not.
So you will withdraw your contribution, my man?
No, I'm not going to withdraw. I just feel, I feel funny about the whole situation right now.
Okay, you know, I tell the marketer, people can give money to them. They can give money to people so that one get your own go. All right, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for participating. All right. I want to welcome our viewers, President, let me bring in Mikey, President Collins, and my own cause, Kuyage Sarah Thompson. Tamara Thompson, welcome. Okay, Mikey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Okay, good.
Yeah, anyway, we're on the line. But the way everything just went quiet, I don't know if Russell Pro still on the line. Yeah.
I don't can open code with Russell Pro. Russell Pro, if you're talking your own of mine, you speak your own back.
Well, Russell Pro, let me just make some clarification. Like, this is not the first peacekeeping mission like bro have gone to. We went to
Congo, all those places in long time.
Congo on a third man time. So you know, most of the CDC
time,
people,
kind of information.
No, we gotta correct that because CDC people, everything they're seeing today, they feel that it never happened before in like bro. It's brand new to them, you know, and they will exaggerate the thing if they say there's nothing that ever happened in the country and like bro been since 1847. So Russell Pro, let me just correct that particular thing for you. You understand? And then going to what happened in Monrovia when it comes to the CDC post celebration, you know, I saw that the 17th anniversary they celebrated. You got almost 60 to 70% of young people that are supporting CDC, they are jobless. You understand? And then you say you're successful. Successful in what? You can't give information on the employment rate, how the young people lives have changed. Every time we call someone a meeting, they all gather there and go there and dance around and they come back home and they say the party is doing well. So I think it was a failure. What they organized the party for, they have not achieved it yet. They still fighting hard to reconsider themselves. And I find it difficult for them in 2023 because the election is kind of easy. It's very easy for the Liberian people to decide on George we are fit. And there's one thing I want to draw attention to. On the LACC issue, we are hearing that in fact there have been no report. You know, there's been no report. So whatever that came on Facebook,
press conference for the LCC is kind of contradicting to their own people within the circle that say there's no report. So I don't know how or why is it will come out with press conference when there's no report yet. And today I listened to the president, one of the local radio stations. He couldn't really give his position on the particular issue. Like he has not reached a desk, he has not reached a justice ministry. So I don't know how they're really working in the government there. You know, and lastly, because the president said the information has not reached a desk, so you get to know actually has not even reached the justice ministry. So I was like, well, they see LCC host a press conference. Are you saying that the president don't know nothing about the press conference or whatever? So I listened to the president. We are the really see it really baffled me. I was like, what really is going on in the government?
Okay.
You know, and then lastly, they put in the Senate there, like Pat George was saying, our elders in the country, we look up to them. We young people as role model, but the lab, they I mean, it's just sad.
Well.
Your country when all the people there who you look up to, they are all liars, they are all rogue.
Okay,
you know, so it's challenging for young people.
Hey, yeah, accuse people they are all liar or rogue.
Yeah, I mean,
if they sue you, don't say that they're coming for stay when they are not here. Okay, thank you.
No, I would defend that, but Mr. So, not be frank. The finance minister came when he said he received a verbal communication.
Okay, let me pick up these few calls here that are coming here as well, so that we give them a chance to participate. All right. Okay. 346 number 3746, and then we'll come to 214. 346. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Okay. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Kesley. I'm calling from Texas.
Kazo, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What a story.
Yes. You know, Liberia's problem is almost an everyday thing, right? and it seems to be like this foreign government is still making things worse, very, very worse for us. And sometimes I sit and say that I feel sorry for the next government that will become the power after CDC government. Because instead of starting from at least a certain height to carry things, we're going to have to go back to the broken pieces, down from the scrum, to start building the foundation all over. Because so this government, every other day, there was a news of corruption. There is now 1 week that was passed by CDC government, you don't hear about corruption. And we do not have the president to address this thing. You have a president who is speaking today and telling you that he
who's the president coming to address? Who's the president that coming to address all the things now?
But who got in power and who got one person?
No, but then one part we've been knowing from time to time. He can't speak nothing here. So I want to know who.
We just have to keep saying it because so this is the only person we have. It's like children having a father in the home, and they say the father is a drunkard. But then every time the children do things, the only person that got the run to will be the father. He's the one we have. So even if he's not doing it, we'll still keep talking, believing that maybe one day he will
is the
do
deal.
it. Though he's not doing it.
I want to know the stepfather. I want to know the stepfather that coming now.
And I we don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
2023 will decide. But if you ask me for my own, I could be a different person. Another person could say different things.
Okay, maybe hold on. This next number will tell who the stepfather that coming for Liberia. 214 number 5215. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Mr. So, how you doing?
Good.
I want to give my contribution on the issue of the local election.
Let's hear from you.
You see, the election in local, I'm a member of the Unity Party.
Mm-hmm.
The election in local, the Unity Party parties in local shouldn't please be so complacent that they will win the election just like that. Because I listened to the radio today that the data from the money settlement. Mm-hmm. And the money people are saying that the war,
yes.
And when Johnson out to the president, they are not produced a senator. They have only one representative.
Yeah, he spoke that on FM the other day.
Yeah.
No, I think how do you call it? Freedom.
Yeah. So the many people are saying that they will support that Councillor Jala. Besides that, in the standard year area, there where the Moses College is from. Moses College too is there to run in the campaign. So the election in local with the United Parties or parties, you know, just said and say, oh, the election in local United Party will get me landslide. No. And the still in the thing that the election commissioner in our country, the United Party too got to be very careful because we were learning from the history from Grand Julius, where the young man get died because of why he couldn't compromise. And the election, CDC want to prove that they have popularity in local. So a United Party United Party politicians said and say, oh, local country party, no, it's just a bread and butter.
So what you suggest, Omen Boyka should stay in Alofa until the whole process, every result, everything announced, you think?
His president in Lofa is good. But the president down there, the United Party got to work. That means working, they have to get a team that will be created that will monitor the entire election process from the start to the end.
Okay.
And then the last one I want to bring up is this fellow that spoke from Riverside. To me, if you are supporting the government from the country, it's your desire that your country will be developed. It didn't make sense that when Bill Tower then went and build a cameo, that means Bill Tower, who is the poor manager, went and build a little place in that town because there's a fire town. In that fire town, where John River District, we the one, I was making the one. We clean it there, were here making at the table, I was there to see. That whole district is large now, no development in that place. They are not advocating how development will go in their country. They will tell the media is getting a talk about this and that. So what the development are there?
No, but to also suggest that development should be in your city before you can support a government, I don't see how that square out. You can advocate for it, but that's not a precondition for you to support a government.
The precondition. If I biking you, you should have what I should benefit. My people should benefit.
Right.
Why the benefit of Riverside is not developed?
But a man said 14 military hospitals. So maybe from there, 13 military hospitals will be built in Riverside.
The verified line he got, 150 barrel hospital in Grand Bassa. What about Grand Bassa? Do they build 150 barrel hospital? So all of these lies that you start bringing to the Nigerian people, we know for what the government is fighting in order to improve their life. And next government will come there, government is continuity. So if the president is for the president is not only for CDC.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me get this other caller here. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. George, I will soon be coming to you. 470-7425. Good evening, caller.
Hey, so good evening.
Welcome to the show. Just blow your monitor there so we can get a feedback. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Steve Willehine, calling you from Georgia, Atlanta.
Welcome. Let's hear from you. What's your story?
Well, so let me firstly say thank you so much, and let me be following you guys for a bit of time now. My attention has been drawn to this issue about the final minister, tactics he play. This is the usual way Liberians always behave in Liberia. This guy made
you think his action was deliberate?
Hello?
Yeah, so you think his action was deliberate? It was on purpose, eh?
It was on purpose, Mr. So. It was on purpose. It's unfortunate to speak to elders that they are behaving like diplomatic crooks. I mean, nobody is with integrity in that house. Besides Darrell Dillon, who is trying to develop himself, very much consistent. I don't mind whatever thing he might have done in the beginning, but right now, if you listen, every time they have session, if you listen, some of the people we have known in that country for a long time, who call themselves, PL group and people from way back, they will be sitting down in the place there and will listen to Darrell Dillon analyze the issue, and they will keep quiet. Imagine today's session. The voting this guy did, if not today or yesterday. It was so surprising. I'm from the Southeast. I have seen people that our people are celebrating in the local areas, sat down quietly, I have listened to one of the senators for Bryan County saying, I support this thing 100%. That means the report from the committee. I was disappointed. And these are people, when they go in the county, people putting lappers down. And you want to believe that somebody who have lied and have misapplied money, and you are saying, as a senator, you have supported this person 100%? It's really disappointing. I'm just wondering whether they are saying and hearing the voices of our people in counties.
Amen. Don't care.
It's not disappointing.
Don't care your pressure or insurance not covered.
Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, and to be honest with you, you're very analytical. I pray that we continue, and your voices should be heard in places like Sano, in Granger, in
the voice will start fading away on Scar. We arranging in Lofa. We getting conversation going Granger, Nima Bon. They're gonna echo out there, and believe me, when it starts. Oh man, something gonna happen. Hopefully. But some people get a bulletproof ear too now. Some things can go through it, so we have to find some. Thank you so much.
I understand.
I get it. Bye. All right, but George, I will come to you. Let me see here. There's international call being coming here before every time the call comes in. Oh no. Okay. I'm not sure what's it. All right. So, Emma Joyce.
Yeah.
Oh, the various views, opinion being expressed as usual. That's the kind of recommendation we can make here. Allow people to speak their mind. Is Labra enough? Labra for you alone? No. It's not for me.
No.
So they have to speak.
Yeah.
And you're going to come, but I'm about to introduce another trouble conversation here. And I know that bait, you're going to get that bait. Vice President Joy Howard Taylor. Is there any precise information why she did not attend? We are hearing sources are saying that this information is yet to be authenticated. Prince Johnson is making a push for Representative Gweglo Johnson. To what level of push that is, we don't know until it comes to light. But this has been breeding and breeding. Perhaps one could make an educated guess. Some or possibly one of the reasons what this push is all about. It's going to be if that happens, it will come with some political consequences, but we don't know here. But the conversation is very tense. The conversation is very tense. So, with Gweglo, because Gweglo's dramatic turn here is unusual, and politicians always deploy unusual tactics. And to see old man Johnson, he was there also dancing after all of those years. So that's why I don't trust these people. Then all of them, I can speak for myself. We can rely on these people. They can pivot 360 degrees anytime, any minute, in an hour. What are you hearing from your backyard of Bond County? Is Joy Howard Taylor, will she still be in the picture?
Well, I have not spoken to anybody close to the object from that area, but I think this Congress for the Marching, I think the NPPN, I think the Secretary General, issued a statement the other day, saying that this time, I think they're saying that the political marriage will be ending in October.
I mean, so I think it should finish by now, though.
I think October. There, you're going to see what will be playing out. Because now, they got to renegotiate. And from some of the things he said, that there will be no handpick of anybody for any position. There must be election heard for every position within. But the problem here is that.
So hold on, that it means she's potentially going to be facing a opposition with Ento.
Yeah,
it been happening. It's not the first time. I mean, she's having an uphill battle within the NPP itself.
Yeah, So they're saying that. But what you're saying, you can't rule it out. But CDC will be willing maybe to pay that price, the backlash. It's already there. Because, as I was saying, there's nothing CDC had done in Palm County. Nothing. Joy Howard, she had done nothing to tell the people of Palm County that the government that she's vice president for, what they had delivered in Palm County, she cannot give any account of it, to be honest. To be honest. So even if they say they're not carrying her.
Is that a tone you are getting from Bond County? Joy Howard has done nothing to Bond County.
Go ahead.
No, is that a kind of conversation? Is that a tone that you are getting? So is she going to cry her own cry or what?
Not she's going to cry her own cry, but Mr. Soe, if you, the second person in the government, or any position in the government for that matter, minister, deputy minister, minister, director, and your people cannot show any tangible, what is the face you're going back to them to tell them what? Maybe she had done some things, but in terms of development, what can the government point to in Bond County to say, yes, Madam Joy Hunter, this is what the government had done for the people?
Will she pay the price for that?
Definitely, because some are going to continue to preach his message and respect her, but we have to be honest. Because the people voted for you. Joy, we are no one that counted all through all the elections. It was until he put Joy Howard there. That when they carried that county. And today, there's nothing that I see the people of Bond County can say, oh, yes, we voted this government. This is what we're getting in terms of development. On the very show, you have member of the CDC, Mervyn Cole, supported moving doctor from the Phoebe Hospital because simply they refused to put certain people on the board. And I spoke about it on the very platform. So what is that in return the people are getting? Nothing. And the same thing goes for Joseph Boakai. I'm sorry to say this. And this is the problem we have in the country. Nobody from Lofa County want to call Honorable Boakai, Ambassador Boakai, to question him. You were 12 years. What did you do here? For the people of this country to remember that, yeah, our son was 12 during his 12 years as vice president. This is what he did. This is the road they built. This is the hospital that they built here.
We already give justification to that.
There's no justification, Mr. Soe.
He said he was parking in the garage.
No, let me say this. Just how I'm going after Joy Howard Taylor, I think the people of Lofa County should start asking this. This is an honest question to ask. And I expect the people of Bond County, some of them talking it. That one bad, they talk it. That, hey, the CDC government, they are not seeing anything from the government in Bond County. The road that lead to go to Joy Howard hometown, that road had not been serviced for 3 years or so, or 4 years since she came to power. Because I talked to the district when I went to Liberia, I drove there. I went there. I drove on the scene road. And I was asking people, if this road lead to the town, the home of the
picture? Do you have the picture of the road?
I didn't take a picture of it.
Why?
I'm not there to see. That was not my aim, but I drove on it.
Part of that is to validate you're talking. I'm not saying you're lying.
I can get people to take the picture of the road. It's a popular road.
We're seeing our correspondent at Tino will go there.
Maybe except the greater area now, but when I went there last October, December, that road had not been greater. And someone myself drove there. And I was telling the person, are you sure? I said, yes. So that is to tell you.
Somebody, I see Emmanuel. I don't know whether it's at Bond County. You're telling me even the community college is not completed. Is that
that's Bond County? The community college from Honor Ellen Johnson time up to now.
It's still
more than 12 million of people put at 15 million have been put in that college. It had not yet been completed.
The community college in Bond County?
In Bond County, not yet. The money was siphoned. People ate that money. What? I said from Seditan up to now, the communication had not been completed. What will make these people to be happy to say, oh, we're going to support George Weah or we'll support our daughter? It had not paid no dividend for them. So, and it's to go for Joseph Walker, 12 years, what if Paul Lofa can show up? I mean, you're saying, if you are a second person in command, can you go to your leader and say, you know what happened? I have to do this mechanic because tomorrow, when we are going, they will ask me.
How sure are you that she didn't go there?
I mean, if he went there, then why he can't speak of that? Look, I made some effort, and I was denied.
I think she broke silence with front page interview, and we have all been discussing some of the things being had. Was that 2018, 19? I went to Liberia, and that was very unusual. What was happening with the number one, big board number one, and big board number two? But when I asked for that interview, and she agreed, or folks came and she herself validated that she was unwilling to talk politics. And I asked her, Madam Vice President, why? They were in the near future we'll talk politics. As of now, I just do not want to talk politics. And she was focusing on all the conversation was her, how you call it, her foundation.
Yes, I get it. But what I'm saying, national development, what is it today in Bon County? Someone can show you that, you know, this hospital was built on the leadership of our vice president. She saw to it that
I was the same Joe that went in Bon County and said that was their time. You either for us. So how can she reconcile this kind of thing? That was their time. Either for us or not.
Yeah, she went back.
Was heading ahead of a shadow. She didn't know what was going to happen in the long run, or what?
She thought that this political marriage was going to be.
Can she be forgiven?
Oh no, she had gone back. She apologized to the people. She went there. She went there. They had a meeting, and she told the people she was sorry for the statement she made, but she didn't mean.
No, not just only the context of the statement, but also the surroundings and all of that here. Probably she was kind of like running ahead of her shadow. Her appeal will it be inclusive of anything? I don't know. That's what's going to happen now. But do you forgive that statement as well? You?
I know. Listen, the statement she made, I frown on it, and she didn't stop there. She went further that people lost their job. That they felt that they were not part of CDC, they lost their job. So, yeah, you can go back here, you can say, okay, but the mark is there.
Okay.
People lost their job. And then, because the content is divided, Mr. So, the content, that's why I say progress will not be made in that content, because the whole content is the leadership divided. This guy they call Mervyn Cole. Sit there and insult the vice president. He doesn't respect anybody. He just talk loosely. Tell people he offered to insult people in the county. This guy. There's someone that the woman, the vice president, groomed from her office, but he got the audacity to stand there and insult her. Representative Mervyn Cole. The corruption. I got papers, man. There's a guy up there doing a very fantastic journalist had been investigating the county development from how it's been suffering in the county. They are taking pictures of those things. When they tell you they want a $25,000, $50,000 project, you won't believe it. Like a hot. That is the corrupt nature of our people. And the same thing I continue to say, because the question now I'm posing to Joel Howard Taylor, the same question the Lofan should be asking Vice President Walker. What did you do during your tenure? The light today, that satellite solar panel light he see there, that they enjoying today, that's a weird government. Have you seen that Honorable Joseph Walker could not even try to get solar panel to go to Lofa County in the capital? Come on, man. And then we want to come and make excuses for these people. It's sad. We have to call our people out. Yeah, we understand what we come from the same tribe, but what does it make? If you tell a tribe that they did wrong, something wrong, you want to see that so other people cannot repeat that mistake. Because if we don't call these people will continue to do the same thing and think that it is right. And let me just close on the thing. Your caller, Riverside Pro, may hold out a session here about hospital being built around the country, this and that. Riverside Pro, I want you to go and read the GAC report about hospitals, clinics around the country. How much drugs that have been destroyed in the hospital, how much money being wasted. Hospitals, there's no supplies because people not doing their job. So you can talk about the bill 150 there clinic or hospital. It's not a thing. It's the maintenance of those things. What are the facilities is being utilized properly? Because if you go on front page, they got it listed. Go and read it to see what your government, how much damage they have done to their own people. Why we allow huge consumption of medication to expire. No storage facilities. Why? Millions of dollars being paid for these drugs to help serve the people. Honor your government, Riverside Pro, they have not done anything like that. So go and read the front page report before you can come out to be very proud of your government.
Okay. Ooh. Amos George, CM political analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. I want to thank you so much. All right, but before we go, they kept asking for the liberal. I don't know how long I can go with answering this question.
What will we do as a liberal? What do he want us to do to bring him back? Because nobody, he was not suspended. He took leave of on his own volition.
Every weekend he slaughtered goat.
Yes. So
a total.
So let me make that appeal to him.
Madam Thompson Sarah was asking, he said, good evening, gentlemen. And where is Mr. So you see that what the guy is saying there's no bad boy for a child. No. Because when he he's an entertainer too. But when he come today, he will stabilize it, he will cool it down for the Unity Party people. They say, yeah, Mr. Tool. When the next day he come, he for ANC. The other time, CDC. Another time, then he goes to his progressive wing to our Gonglo. So one other lady said, but Mr. So Mr. Tool, man, he really confused me. And I said, okay, you were still on inside. Don't deal with it.
But I always said,
so your Cummins is here.
Yeah.
What he hopes to achieve.
Basically, I think it's fundraising and that.
I'm doing everything possible. I want to sit with him because this guy is talking. Let's play this. Let me go to his commercial here and see. Because he's talking a lot. And I like the way he's talking because he's being a little bit concrete. He's not talking in an abstract tone. So I really want to sit with him to get to the bottom line. Let's take a commercial break here from the Coming folks.
People in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money to do all of the what I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first, we'll go after waste in government. We spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. we need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country, is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay? So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the hows.
Cummings, the how, the what's, and a lot is coming from out of him. I really need to. I hope he's on his way. It was told maybe by tomorrow he will be here. I'm going to do everything possible. I want to sit with him because there a lot is coming out of him now. We knowing which direction he's going to appoint a minister in charge of corruption. So I'm not sure whether he downsizing, his government will be downsized or he's going to increase government, how that's going to work. Those are conversations that needs to take place. I don't want to talk about what happened in CPP and WPP. I knew from the beginning it was going to be a fiasco. It wasn't going to work. We saw the document itself put in play was very divisive. That did not leave a lot of Liberians out. So we knew there were going to be a ploy, some sort of political ploy within the system to kick that can down the road. Okay, Amos Joyce, I want to thank you so much for your time. And of course, all our viewers and listeners, I want to thank you so much for sharing your evenings with us here on the Liberia Public Radio. So, my man, who we need to talk to? We need to meet. We need to have Cummings here. I'm going to get to his communication team again.
Okay.
We had a conversation, but now he's coming. It requires us to sit face to face, vis-a-vis. Like he tells me, and like he tells the Liberian people, the hows, the what, how you're going to downsize government and his economic policy. I want to know if he's elected, how he intends all these cases, what his government, if elected, what his government will be doing. Would they go, would there be a comprehensive audit to review? He said that he's going to do that, but That's what's going to happen. But I want to look at Joseph Boyka on the 12 years too. Whether the kid going to eat own baby, all of those questions still hanging out there. Even Boyka himself, whether he willing to order his own president. I want to know the Joseph Boyka and the Helen Johnson Sirleaf government, the status of the rehabilitation process. The international community pumped in a lot of money. Amos George, there was a lot of money to receive by the Helen Johnson's Sirleaf government with the number 2, Joseph Boyka. Now, politicians and ordinary people, they have been very, very successful in stereotyping and calling these people Zogo. It is the same politicians' creations. They got these young people, the young generation of the country, to get them to be what they aim to turn around now. And then the sort of stigma is on them. I want to know where Helen Johnson Sirleaf, the Unity Party, all of these things should be accounted for. We can't just let them go. Nobody have asking that sort of question. He Boyka or he Helen Johnson Sirleaf. How much was pumped and how much was you? How much are these young people, the victims of the war, were demobilized, counseling and all of that? Where are we? Where did she stop? We want to know how much was pumped into that.
Yeah.
To the extent that we don't have the National Rehabilitation Center, but we have representative lawmakers and other people here having sort of self-rehabilitation center. You know what it means to have a rehabilitation center, to have one clinician, psychiatry, counselors, and all of those things. It's not about just going to bed to eat and go to bed and lay down some bare bunk mattresses and go back. We need something of a long-term, something durable that will transform, not just only even in Moserado. So all of the attention has been focused in Moserado. Drive through Moserado, go through Banga. You were there. Go see the number of folks, young people in Banga. Get to Ganta, go to Grand Jide and other places. So I want to know, where is the National Rehabilitation Commission? That's the state own. Those are the people that can get fundings from the international community, not senator, not representative, because after tomorrow, when you leave the Capitol Hill, you're going to tell people you don't have no money. And you don't even have money. Not a handouts, get few people put together, say they're going to send things to it. It's not achievable goal. It's not.
It's not. And yeah, what Mr. So, and I've been sitting and been listening here. These people building a retirement. But the young people, like our people, don't understand. They take this thing to be development. No. Anything that is national, it should be given to government. The same thing we used to.
They say they don't trust the government. They work in the government.
Yeah.
They are lawmakers.
Yes.
They should be able to put these things and make this. It's just crazy. It's too much of this. Just the hypocrisy in the country is too much.
And let me say this.
Opposition.
Look at Sir Joseph. Sir Joseph running an NGO. He came here to little funds, material, go to Liberia, get all the break on this thing, government, get all the break from government. But these things are all in his name.
Why you can't call Abraham Darrow's Deloney?
Hold on now. Sir Joseph, all these things are in his name. Tamafala, during the campaign, they say, oh, he building college. The college is a private institution for Tamafala. It's not government-run institution. But at the time, the people are cheering, oh, he's developing the area.
I do not intend to relegate this conversation this evening. Call the name I want to hear.
Now,
Let me be proportional.
Then, Darrell didn't go say he built rehab. The rehab is not turned over to the public. It's private. So all these people, when you see it,
soliciting illegal money all over the place here.
Those are the retirement thing they are building for they and the children. It's not for you. If you go there for treatment, you have to pay something. If you go to the school, you have to pay something. If you go to the clinic, you have to pay something. Sir Joseph carried buses, ambulance to Liberia. He rendered ambulance to the Ministry of Health. So what is that humanitarian job you're talking about that these people are doing? These people are exploiting you. They're exploiting the system. And we have to call it how it is. They're exploiting. They do this thing. Oh, we're developing the area. Oh, we want to help. If you want to have something that will benefit the people, bring the national government in. Let the government take all that institution. Because when the government takes
something, Can I tell you something?
No.
Can we form our own party?
No, I don't want to form party.
Where is Daniel Cassell? Dr. Cassell?
And he's still here.
Why?
He's still, I saw, I think he's all, I think I'm built. I saw the other day in Philly somewhere there he had some, they had something in the feed there for him, and he was there talking to the people.
They who are breaking people down?
Mr. So,
this is unbelievable.
It's not like that the people there themselves. He went to Liberia and told the people he had money. And he was doing everything to impress the people or what to show the people that what he has. So, hey, the people are hungry.
When you go to the library, when you're talking to people, they say, oh, well, we probably grab our hands, we're here. They can wear any t-shirt, they can attend any rally.
That's what I tell you.
So,
you gotta be proud.
Oh man. All right, Amos Joyce, I want to thank you so much. To all our viewers, Eduardo, thank you so much. Yvonne, thank you so much for joining us. And my own man, fellow wolves of that's the Gonglo wing, the Councilor wing. SK Keita, Emmanuel Jackson, and I want to thank all of you. Julius Bogi, thank you so much. Our own man from Sky FM, watching this early morning hour in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Tomorrow, let's see here what's going to be on 50-50. We're going to be here to bring you the relay. I just got the G's. The guest of legendary T. Max Girate. He always likes to stir all trouble to erase a grandson. You grandpa now. I don't know why you'd be calling yourself grandson. Okay, let's see here. Let me see here what I just received. Tomorrow, we're going to get that promo all here. Just bear with me. Tomorrow, 50-50. How cardinal is the conduct of the national censor as it relates to national development and strategic planning? What do you make of Dr. Lester Tenning's revelations regarding the drastic decline in popularity of the CDC, the woeful deceptions of political praise sinker to its leadership, and the rampant corruption in the CDC administrations and possible jail sentences? Wow. T-Max always like to stir up trouble. He always like to stir up trouble. And sooner or later, trouble will add over trouble. Because when I sit on the side, he sits on the other side there, Bamboo will devour color. But it will be done in a safer context. So, has Dr. Tannin finally formed a new religion? Or a taxi admission that the BS hit the wall? Guess who's going to be appearing? You want to make a guess?
No.
Think about one of the faction. You know, the whole faction thing started way down the line with this whole CPP and stuff like that. One of the faction leader, I don't know whether he still get on a group too. Think about him. Some kind of independent group.
Ambassador Nouvelle.
Ambassador Robert Nouvelle. Folks, that's how we're going to leave it this evening. Thank you so much. And let's take you home with this beautiful song. All right, folks, that's how we're going to leave it this evening. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. Amos George is based in Atlanta, Georgia. And to all of you, our beautiful viewers, listeners, thank you for your participation. Send your comments, your tweets, and we'll join us tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 Liberia. Well, the legendary T. Max Girate will be hosting Ambassador Robert Nouvelle of the Independent Patriotic Council of Patriots. Is he still having that organization? They get members?
Enda ubete ya bonya waju propo di gbe yode manuo. Wey, way. Nyobi money kayo. Ko se wey ble maye anyena. Mon papa ko ne bo firme. Merci beaucoup. Enda wey, maya wey. Ena dia pas.
Understand this one here. Just ask President Tillman Collins, the former president of the Grand Unit Association. If you don't get money, no one get nothing to do with you.
Classe matumore, way man. Luasa umagwata, way man. Panoche manuata, way man. La wodi matumata, way man. Yete Florent, way des on te yakba. Nyanya pia kwasi ande we ready. One chichia, moja way. Omona dabi ejaplo, uoje promo pedio. Kenya jomblere swan for ready, swan for messiah, ejo yi papa. Moja way gewe, ramoni kwa for sae. Way, yeah way. You dey no place to get.
Money, money, money. Money is the gateway to everything possible. You get money into somehow life can be restored. Yeah, rain, shine, snow, storm, tornado, money, money, money. The senators, they are doing pretty good. No gas. Their cars, their tinted windshield, tires rolling. Guess what? If you don't have money, you're in bed, you're rolling, you're spinning, no dream, nothing, because things running through your head, unstable mind, confused, disoriented, and all of that. But when you get money, it might not solve everything, but you are at peace. You eat. You're not worrying what you're going to eat the next day. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio, teaming up with Sky Communication Network in Liberia. More of content sharing you're going to be seeing coming here, right here on the Diaspora Informative News Network. We want to thank you so much for your time this evening. Join us tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 local time in Liberia. T-Max Gelate in an exclusive. And of course, you're going to participate with Ambassador to Rufus Newve. I don't know if she was a former independent council of Poetry. Trouble people in our country too much. They're too much. Even the water you drink, if you don't get money, forget it. How much for a bag of water now, Julius, in Liberia? If you don't get money, forget it. And guess what? Let me leave you with this crown diet. Tonde. Everybody wants to eat something that has a salt or the pepper in it. Unless you have a medical reason, then that's it. Who wants to just, without medical reason, you want to eat a tasteless food? But when you have money, you can eat tonde. The liberal progressive can give an interpretation on that. Until then, I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. The old man on the wall now say time has caught up with me. I got to go. Thank you for your time and have a pleasant evening. Please be safe. Let us fight for our country. Bye-bye. I will leave you now in the hands of our own man, DJ Achivon. It's a Liberian artist right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so everybody, everything's going bad. The situation getting worse. Everybody in the country getting mad. Dishonesty, poverty on the rise. The leaders them making empty promises with no damn strategies. Yeah, this is better days, money in the pockets. Oh, as a holidays only for the bosses. Yeah,